the invisible man. Invisible man. The invisible man. Oh, the invisible man.
Well, hello, everybody. We had a couple of extra audio on the video there. So thank you very much for everyone for joining us. We have actually got a special guest today, Ronel Amata, also known as Squigs, I think I said it right. He is a poet, one of the people that are running the CaRaVaN open mic and stage. And he's going to tell us a little bit about that. But welcome to the show, Ronel. We've known each other. We met many years ago at the Lofts. But hey, do you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Well, yeah, my name is Ronel Amata. So you find me on Facebook. I write under the name Squigs. I host a weekly open mic, the CaRaVaN Open Stage, which you could also find on Facebook. Other than that, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, that's nice. So tell us. Yeah, that's cool. So you're a poet. What kind of poetry do you write, and how do you approach working in the spoken word form?
Oh, see, that's the thing about well, what I've discovered, at least what I've learned about this whole poetry thing, is that there seems to be two groups or classes or types, animals of poet. They're the spoken word poets, and they're the page poets, I think they're referred to. Spoken word, as we've met many years ago, and as I've maintained for several years afterwards, are those writers that prefer their work to be performed on stage, in the sense that whatever they write is spoken. And I think I've always really just been a page poet. I do prefer writing on paper or having it read more so than it presented as a performance. I'd like to think that my work is translatable. How do I approach it? Not as diligently as I'd wish. I know I have friends who are writers who commit time out of their day, hours, to just write. Whatever happens, just write. And I just go about my life, and if I have any ponderings or just questions, I try to negotiate it through poetry, or if I come to any eureka moments per se, try to write around that inspiration. Otherwise,
okay,
yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, everyone kind of approaches the creative process differently. I mean, there are a few songs that I have actually deliberately gone out and said I want to write a Doctor Who song, which I did, and we put that on our CD. Plug.
Oh shit!
But almost all the other songs that kind of come out of jams, and I'm just playing chords. Oh, that sounds good, and then that kind of builds. So yeah, there's lots of different ways to approach it, and I'm kind of always interested in how other artists go about it. So yeah, I definitely understand the eureka moment for sure. Now
I'm just gonna say hi to Ronel. Ronel, I haven't seen you in a very long time. I think probably the last time we were at the
move on screen, Ryan. Move over.
Yeah, that's better. I moved my whole workstation around, and now I have to try and get back in the camera. But we're just gonna do a quick introduction here. We've got our good friend Catherine from Fleetwood has joined us and has been a really good loyal fan. And also another former Loft performer, a good friend of mine, and has played at the Loft lots of times at their open mic. Rial Gauthier has joined us today. And, of course, my lovely wife, Jessica, has joined us. Thank you, everyone, for coming to join us.
Thank you much. Appreciate it.
And we'll get right back into it. Sorry, just cutting you off there. Just figured better say hi to everybody.
Sounds good. So we met. So Ryan and I have mentioned many times on the show the Loft Gastro Pub as it was an open mic. I think it was on every Tuesday. I think it was. I forget what day of the week it was. And that's where we met you, Ronel. So do you ever think about that?
Yeah.
Do you think about that to those times much at all?
Fondly, definitely. I remember these. What was his name? Richard. He used to be a bartender there, and he used to do this line of shots, and but each shot would come out as a rainbow, as a different color of the rainbow.
Okay.
So it was quite. Do you remember this? You ever
Yeah,
had these
yep.
shots?
No, I haven't, but I remember
was
the shots though. I
Quite
remember seeing them.
magical. He prepares it all together as one thing, but yeah. And as he pours it out in each shot glass comes out as a different color from the same mixer, I suppose.
Right. Yeah.
So I remember that. I remember yeah, just man, those people, whatever happened to them.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Interestingly enough, I do have some connection with some of the people, just kind of friends through Facebook and whatnot. Brett, who used to play with us, and we mentioned him last Wednesday on our Musical Mire independent show that we do once usually on a midweek. Well, I haven't seen it hide nor hair of him. I think the last I heard, he had moved back to Winnipeg, is doing construction, but was saving up money to do some more touring. And I haven't seen him probably in at least 3 years. And then I don't know if you remember Amy. She's very.
Yeah, she goes by a different name now.
Yeah. If you follow her on Instagram or on there, it's Twyla, I think, is what it goes at. She's actually ready to have a baby.
I believe so.
Probably anytime.
I know. I saw that photo.
It's been an interesting couple of years since we've all been together.
For sure.
If she's watching this, congratulations, of course.
Now, are there any actually, other than the shots, are there any other notable moments that you can't forget, or you or won't forget, or sorry, rather you want to forget from those old days?
If you remember, there was this woman there, Madison, I believe her name was. She would take photos of people. I remember one of my favorite photos was taken of me. I know, like all my memories have me. I'm centered in these memories. But
were you
that was my experience, right? You're asking me, but yeah. Aside from that and that photo, sorry.
No, carry on.
Something else?
I think we got some breakup in the stream somewhere.
Yeah, we had a bit of a.
Okay. Everything's back. We're good.
Must be the weather. I remember I was singing a parody of a couple songs, and that "Hey There Delilah" song, and that seemed to bring the house down. If you were there for that, Mark, it's even like the people who were working in the background in the kitchen came out to watch the performance. It was quite ridiculous.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't recall that specifically.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That was good.
We were there for a while. I think one of the memories I always thought was kind of a what someone's digging. That we're good.
What's that?
Sounds like someone. Sounds like someone's trying to get hold of someone. That's you, was it? Hey, Phil? Nope. Yeah. So one of my memories there was kind of a silly one.
Sorry, that was my phone.
No, it's not a problem. No problem at all. And we, I'd come into the loft because Ryan and I would always be together, right? And I come in one day and someone says, "Oh, your wife's already here," meaning Ryan. So anyhow, I thought that's always one of those.
Really?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. Yes. Yeah, they were being sarcastic, not literal. Yeah, anyway. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Anyhow.
All right, are we off track already? No.
Yeah.
Well, not far off is so bad, right? So
yeah, for sure.
that sounds like our good friend and co-host Colorado Phil coming at us live.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Welcome to the show, there, my man.
How's everybody doing?
Everything's doing really well.
I bet you nobody realizes, but they're watching the Invisible Man show.
Yeah.
And I'm live here in Denver, Colorado. Ryan and Mark, they're live in Winnipeg. And our guest now, I remembered your name, and then now I forget. What's your name again?
That's Ronel.
Ronel. Hi. Are you in Winnipeg?
Ronel Nolasco. Amata. Fuck, he's gave me.
Are you from Winnipeg as well?
Yeah.
Sorry? All day.
So you guys are all from Winnipeg this week?
Yeah,
We've got nobody in Mexico.
No. Although Luce was bugging me on Wednesday to come on the show yet again.
Oh, well, yeah, sure. Hey, for those of you who don't know, I support and promote, and I don't know what else, independent music. I highlight on my show independent music from Manitoba, Canada, the 204, and I highlight the music from Colorado as well. And I'd like to invite everybody to check out the Colorado Phil Show. And we were talking at the beginning there, for all my links, like to come and like my Facebook show page or Instagram, Twitter, my vlog on YouTube. Find it all in one place. Go to the station website, www.vwradio.co, and go to the shows tab and click on the Colorado Phil Show. And if you scroll to the bottom of that, you'll find links to 8 podcast listening platforms there. And the show runs Monday to Friday, 12 to 4 p.m. Pacific, 1 to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here in Colorado, 2 to 6 p.m. in Central in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, and 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. www.vwradio.co is where you can listen. You can listen from my show page on Facebook, The Colorado Phil Show. So, yeah, that's me. And hey, everybody, it's been a while.
I'd say spoken like a true radio man there, Phil.
Shoot, yeah. Right?
That's good. Yeah, and then we'll add a link for sure. That's a new link that I wasn't aware of until today. So that'll go on the invisibleman.ca page.
That's my fault because I am the worst at promoting myself.
And we'll obviously put that in the show notes as well. We'll put them in the comments later, I think. And
hey, and I just wanted to mention, usually I kind of go back into the background and share stuff.
But you forgot.
Share a live video link. It's not working the same way it usually does. And I've shared it wherever I could already. So I'll just jump in whenever.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, thanks, Phil. So back to Ronel. So the reason I think that you came to mind when I was thinking, who can we have on the show was, actually what was going through my mind was, I keep meaning and I keep threatening to come out to the CaRaVaN open mic. And I think it was last time I was there was a year ago, I think, or maybe it was 2 years ago now. And I thought, perfect. We want to be promoting venues as well that support local artists as well as the artists and what they're producing as well. And so that's something kind of for me was always something was a lot of fun. And you get to go on the Cube every week, or at least for 16 weeks over the summer. So, do you want to just tell everybody about the open mic and how that's kind of came about?
So, I'm one of the hosts. We have 4 hosts and organizers of the CaRaVaN Open Mic Open Stage. We currently are out of the Cube stage, which is Old Market Square. Was our Old Market Square there downtown. If you haven't been, I would recommend everybody to go. You don't have to be a performer. We welcome the audiences as well, weather permitting, of course. And there he is. There's a nice shot of it. It's that's what it. Yeah, as if to say that's what it looks like every week, right? But I think that's the best.
Oh, that looks nice though. That is from home, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like
everyone sign up early because we're in spots.
It looks like
it's quite a beautiful stage. You get to hear yourself perform against the facade of 100-year-old buildings downtown, and hearing your voice echo off those surfaces is quite an experience. I would recommend to everyone. We are on every Monday night, 7 p.m. Sign up at 6:30. And we welcome all forms of styles of performances: music, poetry, comedy, and whatnot. Belly dancing, of course, but usually, that's however long that goes on for is, audience participation or up to the audience. Typically, it's 2 songs and 5 minutes for poetry and comedy.
No.
And thanks for posting some information there.
Yeah, no problem.
Actually, if I could go on to speak of it. We see the CaRaVaN Open Mic is a venue that runs under the Purple Room umbrella, I guess. Purple Room is an entertainment company. How would we define it? I don't know, but they put on shows, and we will be putting on a show this Sunday called Downtown Vibes. There'll be a 7 p.m. till 10 p.m. at the same stage there, the Cube Old Market Square. We are featuring artists such as Freekind, they're from Slovenia, Betox, Jaywood, Marisol Nagash, Henry Onwuchekwa, and special guests. So it'll be a big show, a lot of great local artists and some international artists as well. Please check that out. I do believe there wouldn't be any cover, but if there is, I'll buy beer. Sorry about that. But yes, it'll be this Sunday.
So this Sunday, all right.
Well,
so
that's worth going out right
that's-
there. If,
was that tomorrow? Tomorrow. This Sunday.
Right on.
Yeah, tomorrow actually.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So tomorrow, what time did you say? Just so we can get it out there again.
7 p.m. till 10.
Okay, 7 p.m. to 10 at the Cube Downtown Vibes. So check that out, everyone. I'm tempted to go, so maybe I'll bump into you there. Sounds like it could be fun.
Great
You
afternoon.
can find more information at the Purple Room pages on Facebook and Instagram.
I'm just gonna go ahead and jump in here. Now with the legalization of marijuana and stuff, how is it like? What's the atmosphere like at places, venues out there, outdoor venues like the Cube and stuff like that? Do you have a lot of people smoking weed and all this other stuff that people always said that's what's going to happen when they legalize?
No.
Well, given
I don't think so. I don't think you see a lot of people sparking up joints everywhere or hitting the vapes, but you do get a few people who've smoked up beforehand or were inside, because you're only supposed to like smoke at home or.
Kind of like here too, yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, and I'm sure there's lots of people who are high, and I'm more than certain that someone's going to risk it, because I don't know if you've ever been to Jazz Fest and been by the Cube. When it was illegal, we had enough problems with people sparking up joints in the middle of the crowd. So
how do you see that? It's a bad thing. Come on.
I know. I just whatever, yanking a chain, whatever. That's a totally different another time.
So, how many weeks a year does the Cube? I missed out. Like, how long does Ronel doing the activities at the Cube? That's the Exchange District, right?
Yep, right outside the King's
it
Head.
is correct, yes. The King's Head pub, yeah. I believe we'll be going until the middle of September, and I think we started around May, the end of May this year.
Oh, nice.
But we try to get as many weeks out of the summer for that venue, because it's just it's quite a different experience. An open mic, an open stage out there, middle of the park, middle of the city.
See, I was hoping that my immigration stuff I was hoping my immigration stuff would be done so I could visit, because I wanted to visit places like that, the Cube and other music places in Winnipeg, and maybe see It's All in the Mind live or something. I don't know. Hey, do you guys know? Do you guys know TTM guitars?
No, but I'm gonna look it up.
Okay. Well, you guys talk, and I want to talk about TTM guitars when I pop back in. But I'm going to the garage now, so I'm gonna bow out and listen to the show.
Okay, sounds good.
Right on.
Thanks for that.
All right.
Okay. Whoa.
Well,
Yes.
I actually have a story. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, I actually have a story, and I guess regarding the question about how legalization, or rather the decriminalization of marijuana, has affected not necessarily the scene, but the experience of living in Winnipeg. See, when Mark actually contacted me about being a guest at the show, I was in the Philippines, and I just got back last week, actually, last Wednesday. And holy crap, last Wednesday, it's only been a week. Anyway, yeah. So when I left at near the end of July, and yeah. So my girlfriend drove me to the airport. I got through security, and when I got through security, I realized that I had a joint on me, and because like a few days prior, a few days prior, I was at my buddy's wedding. I was one of the groomsmen at his wedding, and then after party, and then he's like, "Yeah, here, take this." And apparently, I still had it in my bag that was taken to the Philippines. So I called my girlfriend. I'm like, "Yo, I just realized that I have a joint and I got past security. What am I gonna do?" And we're like, "I don't know," because this is all new to me, right? And I mean, not the smoking weed, but just the idea that I may be fucking taking drugs across the country here.
Or international
So
at this point.
I was like, okay, so when I what's that? Yeah, international. Yeah, so like, so when I get to, so the flight was Winnipeg, Vancouver, Vancouver, Tokyo, Tokyo, Manila. I figured once I touched down in Vancouver, and this is what I did, I immediately went outside, took the first taxi to get me to the nearest park, and decided to smoke this joint, right? And I haven't really seen Vancouver actually, so it's not my first time in Vancouver, but I've never been outside the airport. So I end up going to this park, and I'm smoking this joint by myself. And I got like 5 hours in Vancouver, and then a couple hours in, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do with all this time? And it occurs to me, like, man, it occurs to me that for international flights, you actually have to be there 3 hours before boarding. So I catch a taxi, get there just in time, and it was probably one of the better flights. It's like a freaking 10-hour flight to Tokyo, or 9 hours. And I ate everything on that flight, and I slept. It was the most enjoyable experience. Now the funny thing is, on the way back, so last week when I came back, it turns out so I get to Vancouver Airport having a cigarette, and it turns out you could actually smoke pot at the Vancouver Airport in the smoking areas, which allow for cigarettes, vapes, and marijuana. And that blew my mind. I didn't have to like fucking jump into a taxi like a contraband or something, like I'm a freaking criminal. Go take me to the nearest park. I got drugs to do. I could have just smoked it right there at the airport. I don't know if you knew this, but yeah, I mean, it is illegal to take marijuana through international flights, but it's not illegal to have it in domestic flights. But you can't smoke at the international airport at Vancouver. Look at that. That's how, I guess, this world is changing. I know Colorado has changed a lot since their legalization for the community service, the revenue for which marijuana is brought in. But Phil's gone for the garage.
Yes. Yeah.
For what? We cannot say.
Who knows?
Sure,
Who knows?
it's legal
Could-
there.
It's legal there as well.
It could be related to what we're talking about. I don't know.
Don't know. You can ask him when he gets
We're
back.
good. We're good. All right.
Interestingly enough, though, Ronel, your stage name or your pet name, it's Squiggy, correct? That's what it's going?
No, Squigs.
Squigs.
And it's a stage name. I wouldn't
Okay.
have you call it a pet name, but yeah.
Okay. No, pen name, stage name, performing name. Yeah, that's okay. So, what is there? Something?
I said pet.
I thought you said pet as well.
Pen is a writing name. Is there a history or a story behind that particular name, or is it it's just something you picked out of something, or how'd you come?
No, it's actually, there's a story, right? Before the CaRaVaN started, there was no, not before the CaRaVaN started. While the CaRaVaN was starting, actually, this was back at the old Frame warehouse. Mark, were you ever a participant of the shows going on Ross there, the Frame Arts Warehouse?
No, I don't.
Now they turned into condominiums.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to be an old warehouse, and used to have shows out there, and then artists would live in the loft. Anyway, when I started going to CaRaVaN, actually to this day, including I actually have terrible penmanship. So when I would write my name on the sign-up sheet, it was quite near illegible. And when they would call my name, they would say R Squiggles. So up next is R Squiggles or Squiggles, and it just turned into Squigs at that point. And that's how I got my name, because I got horrible penmanship and no one could read my writing. Sometimes I even have trouble reading my writing.
Yeah.
But thank you for asking, actually.
It's funny. I think I'm well renowned for my inability to read my own writing. Pretty much, I actually can't read it as I'm writing it sometimes. Anyhow. So did we? I don't know. I'm not sure if you touched on this earlier, but how did you? What happened that got you moving from a participant in an open mic to actually running one or being part of a leadership team in an open mic?
The original host, man, what she go by now? Alexandra. This is the second person we mentioned in Anecdote that has changed her name. I'm sure her last name is still Tatarin. But she was a local, at the time, she was a local, well, she's still an actress. I think she's moved out to Vancouver, spent some time in LA to pursue her acting career. But she founded the CaRaVaN open mic. And this was during the days of what was that? Remember that movement that was going on? We had all those tents in front of the legislative building.
Oh, the
Occupy,
Excuse me,
Occupy movement.
Which one?
Occupy.
The Occupy, I think, right? Occupy.
Oh, Occupy. That's right. It was Occupy Winnipeg, in fact, and it was in tandem with a lot of other Occupy movements around the world. And it was during that time that the CaRaVaN Open Mic was founded. And after she left to pursue her career, she invited another host who ran it for a few months, and then after that, it was me and a group of friends and I. However, I probably should know, being a self-proclaimed writer anyway. So the four of us ended up taking it over, and we've just been running it since then. We used to have, actually, one of the original hosts was this gentleman. He was a comedian and he was quite endearing in our scene. He had passed away 2004, I believe, at the end of 2004. He was a comedy component. It was quite a setup because the four of us had different aspects of art for which we represented, and he was a comedy aspect, and he had passed away. And after he had passed away, we got a good friend of ours to fill in. In fact, for a while there, we just had other people fill in, but as it stands, there are currently still four hosts, so we change weeks. And usually if we have a fifth week, or when we have a fifth week out of the month, rather, we would invite a guest host for that fifth week. And so that's how we got involved. But the people I host with currently, we all met at a different open mic. It was Regal Beagle open mic. If either you, Mark, or Ryan have ever been participant to that, it was a Wednesday night open mic at the Regal Beagle. And we all met there, and then we all transferred over to CaRaVaN, and then after a couple hosts, we ended up running the show, essentially. In fact, I hosted with Paul Little, who runs the Purple Room and other events, and when the Frame Arts Warehouse was not so much a venue anymore, we became part of the Purple Room umbrella, which promotes musical shows and whatnot, comedy as well, around the city. And like I said, we have a show coming up on this Sunday at the Cuba stage. Throughout the years, we've had different venues. Of course, recently it is the Cube. We've had the Rudolph Rocker, Wee Johnny's for a good while. This winter, I believe, we'll be at XQ's again, as we were last winter. So Phil, when you get back and you have your visa figured out and come to the city, please check out the CaRaVaN Open Stage, because we will still be running throughout the. We've been running for almost 8 years now, and we haven't missed a week. We have not missed a Monday.
Nice. Be
it holiday or no venue. Yeah, we've been performed I believe in the parking lots and parks, and just entirely unplugged. But you always make a point to not miss a Monday, and out of these 8 years, we still have not.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my
nice
contribution to that question.
So how did you get on? How did you actually get access to the Cube? How did that all come about?
Oh, you'd have to talk to Paul Little about that. He spoke to, I believe, the Downtown Biz, who has access to it. And we do have sponsors, of course. Perhaps I could remember plugging them. Smokes Patinery.
Yay!
Does Phil know what poutine is?
Ooh.
Yeah, you like smokes?
He's
definitely have to get him.
Phil's French Canadian. He knows what poutine is. Yeah.
It's definitely a Canadian thing to do. So they're one of our sponsors, Dr. Roof. They make house calls and bad puns. XQs, of course, on Sargent. Yeah. Downtown Biz, I believe so. And that'll be all for now. Okay. I don't have the write-up with me.
Unless you think of someone else later. Go ahead and plug away. Yeah. That's good. Now, I'm assuming you don't get the Cube for free, or do you? Is it a... Do you have to actually raise money for that?
I'm quite sure we don't get it for free, no.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Although the CaRaVaN Open Stage is a free show.
Right.
But we accept donations.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's always it is a quite prestigious stage. It's always nice having just I've been on there once at the CaRaVaN Open Mic, and it really does feel good up there. It sounds great, and you got a full view of that. Not really square, it's more of a triangle of those buildings in front of you. It's a phenomenal location. So it's like Winnipeg's
Oh,
bandstand.
definitely.
Yeah, like Winnipeg's bandstand, really, isn't it? 21st century.
Yes. Bring bandstand back.
Well, they'll need a host, Ronel.
Oh.
I guess you'll have to be up for that.
So
Yeah, it's But
yeah, how many people are actually involved in running the event? You said there were 4 hosts, but I mean, what does the organization look like behind all of that?
well, behind the scenes, actually, a lot of legwork is in blood, sweat, and tears is Paul Little these days. Well, for a long time, it's Paul Little securing the venue, of course, and trying to organize funding for it. I as well, and Tanis Kelm and Mason Kana. You know what? There's no right way to say it. Even if I could be standing in front of him and then he'd tell me how to say it, and I'll say it his last name. But Mason, yeah, we contribute as much as we can on the side there, and we host as well and promote while we can. So really, it's actually a lot to Paul Little's efforts. In fact, we should get him on the show one of these days.
Yeah,
we could probably get all these other hosts. They could promote other events.
Yeah, actually, no, that can be that could even be a fun show to have. Have 2 or 3 of you on at the same time and listen to you guys talking to each other. That'd be fun.
Get a bigger basement, man. Yeah, I think so.
Well, the magic of the internet is they can do it from their own homes.
Oh, right.
There's newfound angled technology. Here we go.
Modern day bandstand.
Yeah. Okay, now.
Okay, I think that's good.
Yeah. So what kind of acts do you usually have on stage? Obviously, you have singers and poets. Is there any particular kind of acts that what the stage is open for? What kinds of acts should be a better question?
Oh, well, we're open for all kinds of performances, really. Usually we get a lot of musicians, of course. Sometimes we get poets. We used to get a lot of comedians. We do welcome comedians to come out. We've had belly dancers, which is part of my intro joke. It's always quite the spectacle. We would definitely welcome belly dancers. We've had hoop dancers in the past, people doing acting as well. Like, they would perform a monologue to themselves on stage, or just who would you as the audience. We also have we feature local artists at the end of the month, like painters and such, and who produce that kind of artwork to present their work. We have what is it, like what do you call those? It's like a storage container, but the way the exchange is designed, they have these storage containers on the side, so it's almost like a venue in itself, a little kiosk, and go check out their work. We have a local artist, Daniel, who does a lot of his work. He's an indigenous artist, and he's usually there every week, actually, him and his wife, producing paintings that I would recommend everyone to check out. So in terms of performances, everything is really welcomed, from spoken word. We even had some people just go up there and rant. Of course, not exactly welcomed, but given the area, people would just get up on stage and like, hey, gonna get a couple minutes and just say a few things.
It's a very interesting show, that's for sure.
Oh, it's different every time, yeah. You never know what you're gonna get.
And that's part of the fun, I guess, right? Actually,
definitely.
Yeah. So anyone that's has never been to an open mic is watching here, and they can be probably some of the best shows you've ever been to. My first experience at performing at an open mic was at the Folk Exchange downtown, just around the corner from the Cube.
Oh yeah, it's the empty house now.
So so Manitoba Music. So Manitoba Music was, I think they may still be doing it, but Fred Penner hosted one, and
oh, nice.
And that was a phenomenal. If you get to see Fred Penner live, go see him live.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. but he was hosting, and he had it. I think he pretty much had it scripted. It was like a perfectly run show. I opened, as I usually like to go on first if I can, and of course he introduced me as Bob Stallard. So it was fun, and that was the first time I performed in 20 years, and it was I tried 2 new songs out, and the open mics are, they're good for trying out everything, particularly as seasoned musicians like me and Ryan. You can just go out there and try something new in a very non-threatening environment, and kind of get some visual and audio feedback as well. So open mics are great for all levels of musicians and artists. So go out and check out the open mic at the Cube. So yeah, I just wanted to say that for everybody else who haven't been there.
Yeah, definitely. We welcome all skill levels.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I just talked, so I'm back on again. I was going to step out. But yeah, all skill levels.
Actually, I just have a quick question for you, Ronel. Of all the acts that you've had over the whatever it is, 8 or 9 years, there's always something that just goes a little crazy and completely off the rails at an open mic. I'll give you a perfect example. This is before Mark and I really started playing in earnest. I always have sort of a couple of projects on the go. I started playing with a couple of guys, and we called our band Screaming Fleas. So we've been playing for a couple of months and got pretty good, comfortable playing together. Decided we would go to an open mic at the Royal George on its way down Regent in Transcona. Well, we started playing. We didn't have a vocalist. We just had a guitar player, myself on bass, and another guy on drums. So we started playing, and unfortunately, what happened is we had a guy who just decided he wanted to be our lead singer, and got up on stage and just started singing to our song. Just made up lyrics on the spot. Couldn't hear a word he said. I kind of looked over at the guitarist like, and he's looking at me like, I guess we're doing this. So what kind of mayhem or craziness have you seen over the last 8 years? Because I'm sure you have a couple of really wild stories, at least one good wild story.
Oh, jeez.
Now,
I mean,
pick just
there were events. I mean, that's pretty wild. And sorry, that was Screaming Fluids. That was the name of your band?
The Screaming Fleas. Fleas.
Oh, Screaming Fleas. All right, I think I like Screaming Fluids. Right. Gotcha. Other than geez, like given the venue, especially the Cube. Thinking about the Cube, we would have hecklers and just some vagrants coming by and have to ask them to leave. I do remember one time though that there was a fight that broke out at CaRaVaN on stage. There was this what was it? I don't know how it started, but somebody had an argument with one of the people who was working at the Smokes Patinery, which is right there on the side of the stage, and he decided to come back with a cinder block to throw through the window. And at the time, I believe Mason was working there. But I mean, he wasn't working at Smokes at the time. He was doing the CaRaVaN because it was in the shift. But he was like, "Oh, don't do it!" And dude actually throws the cinder block through the window, but it wasn't window. It was like plexiglass, so the block like bounces off. So he decides to confront this guy, and then as he's approaching this dude, his friend is there, and this guy is like, ready to fight, and then so a fight breaks out between this guy and some CaRaVaN members, and that was quite interesting. There was he was about to leave, kept egging him on. Well, I didn't specifically egg him on, but somebody did from our end. And so he'd come back and then take some punches, or he'd start swinging and we'd take some punches. Or this person would take some punches, was egging him on, and then he would leave again. Nobody was severely hurt. But as he was leaving, there's I don't know if you know this out there in Colorado there, Phil. I don't know if the world knows this, but especially downtown, Winnipeg has quite an issue with homelessness. I mean, it's not specifically Skid Row or anything, but we do have some characters that you see all the time out there. And It's one person who's actually somebody I'd consider that I would know, maybe my more happier times, we'll say. Consider him a friend, but he shows up on his bike and starts swinging this freaking, I don't know, it's like a tree stump he's been using as a crook his life, and then at everybody at CaRaVaN there, he's like, who? Like he thought that he had to defend that one guy, when that one guy was actually starting the fight. The dude was trying to throw a cinder block to the restaurant, and then I came up to him like, dude, just chill out, man. It's not what's happening, and it really has nothing to do with the music or the performances. But yes, a fight broke out, and venue. Anything else crazy? Jeez, I mean, just the magic of like.
That's got my random drunk guy. Well, we found out that to work up the courage, this guy who jumped up on stage, he had to go into the bathroom and do a couple of lines of cocaine off, like, we didn't find out.
Oh, like a true rock star.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow.
Tonight's my night.
Yeah, I'm gonna shine tonight. Yeah, it was pretty interesting, and that's been my relationship with the Royal George. So far, I've only ever played there once.
I don't think I've been there. Do they still do an open mic there? I think they still do an open mic at the Royal George.
Yeah. I don't think it's as frequent as it used to be, but I think it still happens. Yeah.
Cool. Check that out sometime. You said this was out in Selkirk?
Royal George is way down on Regent Avenue, like right in the heart of Transcona.
Trashcona. Oh my God.
Transcona. Gotcha.
Hey, so Phil, you're back with us, are you?
Yes, I'm back.
You're back with. Okay, here we go. I got a little sequence to introduce Phil's free for all. Here we go.
Oopsies! I skipped ahead just a little bit there. No retakes, no redos.
Here we go. So Phil's free for all. Here we go. This is where things can go big. Where we haven't planned anything at all.
So what you look like without glasses?
So I was mentioning TTM guitars, and I haven't found where they're based out of, but they're an American guitar company. And I wanted to mention congratulations to Ron and Greg, bass and lead guitar for Johnny Got Rocks. From out here in Denver, Colorado, they have been officially endorsed by TTM Guitars. Oh, California, Palm Desert is where they're out of. So I thought I would jump in and mention that. And I also wanted to mention, I've been getting some new music from Winnipeg, from Manitoba.
So you are getting some, or?
Oh, yeah?
I am, yes.
Okay.
Let's see here. The latest, Turn a Phrase is a band that sent me music. Giant Skellies.
Okay.
J.C. Campbell, the Mariachi Ghost, the Love Tongues.
Woohoo! Mariachi's Ghost.
That is good music, Mariachi Ghost.
And the others aren't. Don't
They're all
great.
Answer
that.
No. Hey. Hey. You know, you guys, we have to figure out what this song is about. Mark or Ryan, I don't know if you've heard it. Emily's Tea Party by a band called Trampoline.
Nope.
The lyrics are just like
it's about.
Yeah. Who wrote it? I'm not sure. The band writes their own music. But that song, Emily's Tea Party, has gotten my attention lately. And something cool that I wanted to mention that I have on the show, it's a band called Electric Mud, and they're out of California. They're two brothers, and they are the nephews of Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones.
Oh, okay.
How cool is that?
It depends how good the guitarists they are.
I just brought them on rotation. So far, I love them.
Yep, sounds
Sorry,
good.
what are they called again?
Electric Mud.
Electric Mud.
What style of music is it, Phil?
Let's check them out.
Rock.
Okay.
Although I hate, when somebody asks me that, what genre of music, I'm like, it's rock or pop.
It's good music.
It's good music, yeah. But hey, man, I'm so glad that Manitoba bands are finally starting to send music in. it's making the battle at the end of the show, a lot more interesting because I was starting to know exactly who I would play because I only had, I think maybe 20 bands. And you do it 4 times a week, half hour for Manitoba music only, and it's always the same. And suddenly people have started sending music, and that's awesome because people out here, I know for a fact they dig Manitoba sound.
Mm-hmm. Is there such a thing? I don't think there is. I think you made.
So I can't wait to hear that. Well, I mean, there's the Screaming Fluids, right? Waiting for their album
Screaming Please
to drop. Screaming Please.
I don't think that's going to be
the what?
Well, I don't know.
You gotta go find that cocaine addict.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if you were listening earlier, Phil. I think maybe it's the way, but I was talking about how one of the experiences at the unopened mic that I had done with a band right about the time Mark and I started playing. We called ourselves the Screamin' Fleas, and we didn't have a lead singer. We just had a guitar player and myself and a drummer, and so we worked up the courage, played together, worked up the courage to get on stage, and we're playing this song, and this dude just randomly gets up on stage and starts playing or starts singing with us. And of course, I think you came in right about the time where I was telling the way you worked up the courage was to drink a bunch of beer and then do a couple of lines of cocaine off of
That's
So now you have some context.
Oh my goodness.
Talk about Manitoba music, right?
Hey, you guys, you still have time if you start driving now. Taste of Colorado is on here. Tomorrow I'm going to be seeing an awesome country band, really kick-ass band, Remus Tucker Band live in the evening. So it's supposed to be really hot. It's been hot here. I don't want to sound like a whiner, but it has been too hot here. But then I hear them talking on.
No, we can hear you. Oh, there you go.
I hear them talking on CJOB, and it's chilly in the morning back home in Manitoba. Apparently, is it?
Yeah, it's that awkward time of year where you start off with a sweater and and the heat's on in your car in the morning, and then by the time you drive home from work, the air conditioner's blasting you.
Right. Oh yeah, I know those. I know those days.
Yeah, actually, the place where I work. Yeah, Karen.
Sorry, I just wanted to jump in and we're going on for like another 10 minutes because I do have some open mics in cities to plug. The city to plug.
Go for
it. Do you got time now or maybe later
go for
on?
It. Go for it.
Okay, so of course, I do the CaRaVaN open mic, open stage. Look for us on Facebook. We're every Monday on Cube Stage downtown, 7 p.m. till not necessarily 2, but late. So there's that on Mondays. And then on Tuesdays, actually, I don't exactly have the information for this one particular, but if you know Le Garage on Provencher, it's typically musician kind of open mic, but they do spoken word as well. So check that out. That happens around 9. Now, the RV Lounge.
Sorry to interrupt you. What day was the
that's every
Garage?
Tuesday.
Every Tuesday?
Every Tuesday at Le Garage,
okay.
Yeah. There's that. And it's typically 3 songs. So it's quite a set.
Yeah.
Also on a Tuesday, we have the RV Lounge, and I got the information right here. Yeah, it's the Riverview Community Club. It's set up as a lounge and open mic performance space. All skill levels and genres are welcomed. They've had music, poetry, storytelling, comedy, magic, and some stuff we're not sure what to call. There's warm applause and hot coffee. Admission is free there, and children are welcome. There are no PAs, no amplifiers. Wait, there's no PAs, no amplifiers, no stage, no stress. I guess it's a very acoustic set. I'm sure though, you could bring your own equipment. But it's on Tuesdays as well. The RV Lounge. You can look them up on Facebook. Tuesday, September 17th, and every second Tuesday thereafter. Doors open at 7 for that. And 7:30 the show. They go until 9. That's the Riverview Community Club, 90 Ashland Avenue. As well, on Wednesdays, if you ever check out Shannon's downtown, there's a Shannon open mic. The Shannon's open mic on Wednesdays, Sign-ups at 7:30. Goes on from 8 till midnight. They typically have a house guitar. They will accommodate electronics if you want to bring other equipment. If you perform at Shannon's for the night, you get one free beer if that's not enough incentive to go. Now, as well, is this also another Tuesday? Yeah, I mean, Phil, if you ever come to Winnipeg, bring an instrument or not. But I mean, there's so many open mics going on from like a Monday till Wednesday. We got you.
Yeah, it
Get
sounds
to see
like
some-
it. Wow, I was gonna say that. It sounds like Winnipeg's having a little bit of a revival on the music scene, or what's going on?
Oh, it's a great arts community. I mean, there's just the thing about Winnipeg. Actually, you know what? Before I plug this next one, the thing about Winnipeg, it's I've traveled a bit, sure, but as far as multicultural places go, there's like almost every culture from every corner of the world represented in this one city. So it's almost as if to say that we have all these stories and all these lifestyles and life paths, and I want to go as far as saying like all the old gods from mythologies from around the world are represented in this one city.
They are.
Strangely enough, situated in the center of the continent. So yeah, I mean, with stories, there's art, and there's so much art going on in the last few years. And being like part of this open mic and knowing about other open mics, man, you're gonna have a great time, Phil. When you're when you get out here, we gotta try some poutine now.
Oh,
So
you know,
there's the
I haven't
Wednesdays,
had
I mentioned
poutine.
that.
I heard you guys talking about poutine before. I haven't had it for a while, but we did. We've made poutine here at home a few times here in
Oh yeah,
Denver. Oh yeah,
we probably start a food truck with that kind of
out here
business kind of
easily. Yeah.
recipe. Especially since the legalization of whatnot.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we have a Tuesday night open mic. It's on, next one's September 3rd. This one's at Times Change. It's hosted by Glenn Radley, and this week I believe it will be with Too Hip, a local musical duo. They're a wonderful couple, actually, and very talented. Their set runs from 8 to 9. They're featuring. The open mic will be 9 till 11. And sign-ups at 7. There's a Times Change, no cover. Phil, if you've ever been there, Ryan, Mark, I would definitely recommend. It's a great little venue.
Where is it? Where's
I mean,
it
little,
at?
they actually expanded, but it's very charming. You walk in there, Times Change. It's on Main Street,
Okay.
and they've renovated recently. There's still a lot of that Canadiana Americana motif. It's quite a great show. Actually, I've seen that band you mentioned earlier, Trampoline. They've played there a couple shows. This September 3rd. For that, I'm sure we'll have all the information presented in links after which, yeah. And one more thing before I go. There's all right. So my good friend, and actually someone I consider a poetry brother in arms. In fact, I mean, I know we met at the Loft, and before that, I think the first time I actually read poetry was at the Regal Beagle open mic, for which I met all the members of the now organizing body of the CaRaVaN Open Stage. But there's this thing called Speaking Crow, or The Speaking Crow. It's the longest running poetry reading series in Canada. At least it claims to be. And I'm quite sure it is, because it's been going on for like 14, 15 years now, consistently. And it happens every month, the first Tuesday of every month. And this September 3rd, at the Carol Shields Auditorium at the Millennium Library, that's on the second floor by the Skywalk. My good friend Chris Macalino will be featuring as the featured guest for that poetry. It's an open mic specifically for poetry, so bring your poetry. You get 3 minutes, and they have features every month. And this month, it's my good friend Chris Macalino, who for which I would attribute a lot of my introduction to the poetry world by him, really, especially like Winnipeg, because he's been here so long, involved in the poetry scene. And now, he had a book out last year, I believe. It's called All Psyched Up. You can still pick up copies at McNally Robinson, and he'll be featuring next month, or this Tuesday coming up at the Speaking Crow. So look us up at Facebooks, and I believe that's all I got to plug for now. But
yeah, sounds good. Yeah, and if you can provide
there's
me
a lot
with,
of art in Winnipeg.
yeah, send me all the links and information, and I'll make sure it goes up with the video. It'll
Definitely.
definitely be in the show notes on
you.
YouTube, and
Sounds
then we'll
like
put it on the
there's
website as well.
definitely something to do all the time there in Winnipeg.
And you'll never run out of something to do on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Right. There's lots going on a Tuesday.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay. Actually,
Definitely.
we're probably going to start winding up shortly, but I think that you're probably not aware, you haven't seen the show before now, but we have got a balcony here at this location, and the guys actually, I think they're talking to each other. Let's see what they have to say.
Oh, this isn't entertaining at all. Careful, there are kids watching. Nah, I'm kidding. Do it with the other hand, too. That'll learn them.
They're never polite. They never are. Anyhow.
Hey, can I ask something?
Of course.
What the heck is up with the guy on the bus with threatening people with scissors? He got tasered or something. Did you guys hear about that?
No.
No, it was in
Winnipeg?
Winnipeg. Yeah.
Can't say.
I had that
We were
story on my
watching.
show yesterday. I was like, holy, that sounded so intense. But then they said that it was quickly over because they just went ahead and tasered him.
Okay.
Oh.
Because scissors are so much more dangerous than a gun. Anyhow, whatever. Okay. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a contact information there
for another show.
Yeah. So yeah, we got to get some. So if you want to get the only contact information I have was for CaRaVaN Open Mic. So go check out CaRaVanOpenMic.com, and you can also look up them on the CaRaVaN Open Stage on Facebook. There, if you look that down. So there we go. And while we're at it, we've got our contact information as well. TheInvisibleMan.ca. You can catch me and Ryan on Facebook. It's All in the Mind Band. Phil, of course, the Colorado Phil Show, and I think most people are watching us on those two links. And of course, we archive everything to YouTube, so just check out theinvisibleman.ca/YouTube, and you can get both me and Phil on Twitter at MD Stallard and at Colorado Phil 1. There you go. Not as slick as you, Phil, but I got it through it.
Can I go ahead and throw in my show times?
Of course.
Sure, go ahead there, Phil.
Mondays through Fridays, right? 12 to 4 p.m. Pacific, 1 to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time in Colorado, 2 to 6 p.m. Central in Winnipeg, 3 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And you catch it in one place right now. I'm on one station right now. That was a rough bump there, but people are starting to realize www.vwradio.co. So I do the show live from Denver, Colorado, and the station vwradio.co is in Grand Junction, Colorado, on the western slopes out here. So it's kind of cool to have a Colorado connection again after leaving the other guys. But
Okay, so are you not on HGB Canada anymore, or?
I think I'm coming back,
Okay.
but I don't want to say yes for sure.
Okay.
It sounds good, and I saw somewhere yesterday, I guess on Facebook, that's where I see everything, but if it's on Facebook, it's true. Carla Bonnell posted that she had some news coming pretty soon, so
Okay.
hopefully.
Okay, well, maybe I'll ping her and find out what that is ahead of time. We'll see if she will spill the beans.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think that's the hour, and I think now's a good time to say goodbye to everybody. So, very big thank you, Ronel, for joining us. It's actually been a lot of fun catching up.
It was a great listen too. When I was in the garage, I was listening, and it was awesome.
Yeah, and so thanks for Ronel. Very big thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Nice to meet you, Ronel.
It's been
Ronel,
it's
it's
been
really
a
great
pleasure.
to see you again. Glad you're doing well and keeping busy in the scene. Since I left, since Mark and I we had taken a little bit of a hiatus. Of course, that's because I got married and now I have a little kid, so life kind of gets
selfish
away. But yeah, so it's okay, right? And but it was great to see, and I'm glad we could keep busy in the scene and keep the the old spirit alive that we all kind of felt all that camaraderie back at the loft.
Yeah, actually, there's something else about open mics as well. There's just that we've kept
Definitely,
in touch with quite a few people actually from the loft, and it's wonderful time. We were there I think it was a full year. I think we were there. We got to know a lot of people. That in itself is a good reason to frequent the open mics.
That's right. I'll keep the open mic scene warm for you,
Yeah,
gentlemen, when you decide to return and make
we keep
make a
threatening
big thing of it. But
we keep threatening. Yeah.
do some cocaine and get up on stage.
Nope. That'll be the next person who wants to.
Yeah. The only coke I take part in has bubbles in it. Anyhow, okay. Thank you very much once again, Ronel. If you want to hang around, we'll just
Just
chat.
talk to your dealer about that.
Yeah, we'll chat after the show. But yep, it's a big thank you from me, Mark Davis Stallard, Ryan Janz, whose middle name is also David, but he doesn't use it, even though he should.
Yeah.
And Phil, Colorado Phil, you can give a
www.vwradio.co.
there we go, Radio Man, and of course, final thank you, overdoing the thank yous to Ronel. Thank you very much, everybody, and we'll catch you again very soon on the next The Invisible Man.
Oh,